All right, to avoid any further issues and to prevent, to prevent any issues with rounding errors, I really want you to pay attention to how many decimals the question asked you to round to, because they're asking for an exact answer that they want for a solution. So first off, you can tell what they want it rounded to by clicking in the answer cell. So you should be paying attention to this. Now this applies to problem 9. This is one of the more common problems from this first homework assignment, homework 4.1, that I noticed is problem 9. But this also applies to many of the other problems. So you want to pay attention. It'll either say it, you know, in the problem, it will tell you how many decimals it wants around to, or it will tell you if you click in the text box where you enter your answer, you'll notice that it'll tell you what it wants it rounded to. So enter an integer. If it's an integer solution, just enter an integer or a decimal number. So accurate to 3 decimals. So there you go. 3 decimal places. It tells you right there. 3 decimals. So pay attention to that. Many of the problems, it really does make a difference, and you have to be careful that you round to the appropriate amount. If it doesn't tell you, then chances are it doesn't really matter, or it doesn't really apply a rounding. But you really want to pay attention to the amount of rounding, because you will get it wrong. So hold on one moment while I calculate this. I'm going to pull up my calculator now. Okay, so this is asking for the value at the 83rd percentile, and this is the standard normal distribution because you can't see it, but I'll move it. It says it has a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1, and we're trying to find the 83rd percentile of the standard normal distribution. So to do that, to find a value, and you really need to use your graphing calculator. There's instructions of how to use your graphing calculator. 83, 84 mainly, 83 plus or 84 plus. So you'll go to second distributions, VARs, and then go down to inverse norm. And so we want to put the percentile in here, so that's 0.83 in decimal form. And then you'll do a comma. And now you don't actually have to put anything else in here because by default it's standard normal distribution, but you could put the mean, so it's mean and then standard deviation, and then close parentheses. What you could also do, if it is the standard normal distribution, as you may know, is just 0.83. So by default you have the standard normal distribution. So this means mean 0, standard deviation 1, and we can calculate. So the 83rd percentile for a standard normal distribution is 0.95, blah, 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 blah. So here's the thing. Now, I noticed that a lot of people were telling me that they used the standard normal table, the Z table, and they ended up getting a solution to 2 decimal places because the Z table gives Z-scores rounded to 2 decimal places, and that's all you can do. That's not good enough. That is not good enough for this. So you cannot, so you will get the problem wrong, pretty much guaranteed, unless it's rounded to 2 decimals. In this case, as you can see, it's 0.954 because we want it rounded, as mentioned before, to 3 decimal places. So if the solution is rounded to 3 decimal places, then you need an additional decimal that the Z table will not give you. So in this case, it's 0.954. That's it, 3 decimals. And there we go. You get the problem right. So do pay attention. Question 12 was another one that was pretty common. So they wanted a Z-score again. So anyways, and in this case, it says round to 3 decimal places again. So pay attention to that. I don't know, click on a random one here. A probability, and as it says, this probability is 4 decimals. So pay attention. I remember seeing, I don't remember which one, but there was a problem. I don't know that actually had the amount of decimals. So this one isn't stating. So, well, actually, I'm not sure which one this would be. So, I mean, decimals it would be, but maybe it doesn't matter in this case. So, this is we want to find the z-score that gives us this probability when you're looking at less than. So that would be 6393. So I'm not really sure. Or a decimal number. So maybe this one doesn't make much of a difference. So 0.3566. Okay, so maybe it doesn't make much of a difference for this one. But if it does state how many decimals it wants, you have to be exact because they're expecting that exact decimal. If you put 4 decimals when they ask for 3, you're going to get it wrong. If you put 2 decimals when they ask for 3, you're going to get it wrong. You have to put exactly rounded to the correct decimal. You have to make sure you round up. If you need to round up, you need to make sure you round down if you need to round down. But make sure you put the amount of decimals they ask for. So let me know if you have any other concerns. Keep this in mind as you work through the course. Pay attention to the amount of decimals that it may mention inside the problem, just like in the verbiage, without even clicking on the box, or you may have to get that information by clicking on the actual box. So let me know if you have any concerns. I'll be more than happy to help. And also, if you notice that that there is a problem that doesn't fit under this, like you feel like you deserve credit, feel free to reach out to me and say, hey, I deserve credit. I followed the rounding instructions, and I believe I got this right. I'll look into it, so no issue there. So yeah, let me know if you have any other concerns.